Hi everyone, good afternoon. So if you can hear me, please indicate by typing in your name, your startup name, and your location so that we know people that are here. Please, if you can hear me, indicate in the comment section. Hi, please, if you can hear me, indicate. Okay, good to have you, Peter. Yeah, great to have you here. Who else is in the room? Just two persons. Guys, please, if you can hear me, I need to be sure that I'm not the only one here. I can only see Peter. Okay, so while we are waiting for people to join, let's even have your feedback. So let's have your feedback before we start this session. Peter, so Give me an idea. How has your experience been with the ideate session? What has been the most useful session for you? I'm adding a link for you guys to join. Let's use this opportunity to get your feedback while we are waiting for the speaker. So the speaker is trying to settle in. So he will join us. I think in 15-20 minutes time. He said he's on his way. He's trying to settle in. So while we're waiting for him to join in, quickly, I want to hear your feedback concerning the ideate session. Which session has been the most useful for you? Are there challenges you are facing? Have you been able to join the mentorship group? Please use the link in the comment section to join so that you give me your feedback. So I'm waiting for you guys. Peter, who else? These guys, nobody want to introduce. If you are here, please kindly introduce yourself so that we know those in the room. Yeah, great to have you here, Mary Katambi. So if you are joining, we want to get your feedback from the session so far. Check the link that we just sent. You can use it to join the studio. We would love to hear your feedback and how far you've been implementing it in your business. Are there challenges you are facing? Are there areas you think we might help more? We know that a lot of you guys have been getting the fire. Like a lot of you guys are already doing well. Some of you are chasing funds already. Some of you are pitching to investors. Some of you are applying for competitions and opportunities based on what you've learned. Some of you have requested for slide decks, and I think one of you was nominated. I think someone from my date 4 was nominated for a voting stuff, which I think Debbie shared on the group. So I know a lot of you have been doing well so far since the beginning of these sessions, but I also know that some people are facing challenges. Some people are like they are the back seat, they are not very sure of the next step. So if there are challenges you are facing, this is an opportunity for you to voice them out. Are there sessions you think um, um, we are most helpful for you, or you think we should maybe bring in the speaker to explain more on the sessions? For example, you didn't understand the session on marketing or go to market strategies and all of that. We did this in ideate 4, so we are using this opportunity as a feedback session for ideate 5 so that we prepare the final stages of your ideate session. Your session will be ending in 2 weeks time. So ideate 5 will be ending in 2 weeks time, after which we have a revision session for both ideate 4 and ideate 5, so that you get to ask all your questions concerning your startup and the sessions that you had, and prepare you for pitching to investors on the demo day, which is happening in November. I'm saying November, this is October. So we are talking about demo day next month. So if there are challenges you are facing, please, we want your feedback. We've sent you the link. So join in the studio to give us feedback on your experiences so far generally, and then are there areas you think we should improve for better experience, at least for you guys that are going through the session, or are there areas you think your startup needs more help, you think we can help you in that aspect? Please use the link to the studio which I have dropped to join the studio. I'm waiting for you guys. This is an interactive session before the speaker comes in. So we have like the next 17 minutes for this. So I'm using this. Okay, so the demo day is slated to happen in the third week of November. Yeah, so the demo day will be happening in the third week of September. The full details will be communicated to you guys next week. Hopefully, the full details will be communicated to you guys. But note that the demo day is for people who graduate from the program. So if you've not attended up to 80% of the sessions, it is not too late for you. So for you to partake in the demo day or pitch to investors, you must be part of at least 80% of all the sessions that have been had. Because during our sessions, we normally display the link to the attendance form for you to fill at the middle of all the sessions. So if you are not able to attend 80% of the sessions, that means you won't be graduating. And if you don't graduate, you can't pitch at the demo day. And also, if you don't graduate, we can't call you our ideate fellow. So you have to note that. You still have more sessions. I think you have more than one, two, three, four, five. You have more than maybe 5 or 6 sessions to go. So I think if you should attend all of those 6 sessions, you should be able to make up to 80% of the attendance. Hopefully, if it's not less than. So I encourage you guys to make up to 80% of your attendance for you to graduate. So I'm still waiting for you guys for the feedback, please. This is very important to us. We want to be sure that we are giving you value, that we are not just spending all of these resources and you guys are not getting the value. And we know that a lot of you guys are already, I think some of you guys were trying to give yourselves feedback on, I think on Google Play Store or something. Yeah. So which means you guys are progressing and you are doing a lot. Someone was going to, I think the person exhibited, was it last week? And someone else was nominated for an award or something. So which shows that you guys are making moves, but then we want more of you. We want to hear more of your success stories on the page, not just 2 or 3 persons are fundraising and stuff. We want to hear more of such news every week. And that's why we have this session. That's why we are building this community for you guys. If you have any challenge with your startup, any challenge at all, we also provided the mentorship platform. If you need one-on-one conversation with the mentors, I will be available on the mentorship group too, to take on a lot of people. I work with a lot of startups over the years. So if there are areas you are facing serious challenges as a startup, you need not keep mute while others are moving. The startup game is um is a fast one. You can't call yourself a startup after 5 years or 12 years and you're not making progress. If you are starting, you have to be on the go. So if you are facing a challenge, the earlier you solve it and keep moving, the better. But then if you are stuck at a place for 1 year, 2 years and all, then you see that those you started with, they are moving. So you need to be plugged into a community where you get answers to all your challenges. That's very important. Startups grow more in a community. So I'm still waiting for you guys. We have 6 people. So if you are here and you've not introduced yourself, kindly introduce yourself in the comment section. And I think maybe by this weekend or next week, I'll be coming in. Um, I'll be coming into one of the sessions to handle you guys on strategic leadership. I think strategic leadership for startups. It's a very important one. How you will drive the strategy and the vision of your startup. How to get the team that will help you achieve the vision for your startup. Okay, we have Fred. Fred, hi Fred. Hi Fred. Fred, can you speak up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Hello, can you hear me?
Fred, I can hear you. Fred, continue, we can hear you.
So, my name is Fred. I'm currently in Ghana, and I must say, yeah, I must say, I am happy to be part of this, and I've learned a lot. I think my highest moment or turnaround moment has to do with the growth and scaling. Some of you might have seen the facilitator mentioned uh, a form that one can use to validate tremendously, I mean, catapulted my idea. I mean, because I had nothing like something to show off apart from everything being on paper, on my head. So the dot form has been able to flesh out things for me, and I kind of see or what my my services is going to be like, you know. So that's the highest point and turnaround point for me. And the feedbacks from Mary and then yourself has been tremendously grateful, and it has caused me to be making changes. And I've even realized that this is something that if I am really up to tax, I could be easily replicate in Ghana, in Nigeria, and Kenya. I mean, these are three places that I have ties of, you know. So yeah, I mean that's by way of feedback. I mean, The other downs are not so much of a problem. I mean,
Okay, okay. Thank
some
you
facilitators,
very much.
yeah, those ones you can't put strict adherence to them. But I mean, in all, uh, and make some impact on myself and I mean, come up with what I.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred. We appreciate the feedback. At least that gives us the confidence that we are at least making effort to see that your businesses grow and businesses within our startup community are growing. Yeah, so we need more feedbacks. We have Gianni in the room, we have Mary, we have Peter. Who else do we have there? So we're waiting for you guys to speak up. All of you in the room, your opinions matter. So we want to hear from you guys. What has been your experience? Are there areas you think we might need to improve so that you get the best experience? Of course, we know that everything has not been 100%. So are there other areas you are facing challenges you think we need to cover that we haven't covered? And then maybe it's not part of our plans to cover. Of course, we have other areas on accounting, which is coming up this week. Then we have the other one on pitching and presentation skills for startups, which is coming on this week too. I think those are the key final session. Next week we have um, team building and networking. Those are the final ones. So you are expecting accounting and finance for startups on Friday. On Thursday, you are having pitching and presentation skills for startups. Yeah, on Thursday. Then next week, you have team building and networking. Then is likely maybe on Saturday this week, I and I and one of the facilitators would likely handle strategic leadership and pivoting. Now, pivoting has to do with when should you stop chasing a startup. So some people hold an idea for long, even when it's not growing and when they are not growing. You are not adding value to the idea, and the idea is not adding value to you. You keep answering startup for 5 years, 10 years. Now, when is the right time for you to know that you have to let this go and pivot to another thing? When is the right time for you to know that this is not what the market wants? Because a lot of people create an idea in their heads. We are building an AI marketplace. You know, they use the buzzword. It gives them this. There is one word that I heard somewhere. I think it's called mental masturbation. So you use AI for the AI marketplace for let's say AI marketplace for health. It gives you the ginger that you are doing something great. So you are mentally masturbating yourself, whereas it's not leading you to anywhere. So you have to know when you have to let go. If you are sure that your market isn't responding to your value, you don't need to be told. It's either you iterate to fit what the market wants, or you pivot to create what the market wants. As I mentioned sometime last weekend, a lot of the big businesses you see today, they didn't start with the particular idea they had. Some of them we are selling funny things. Like I heard that Sony, the Sony you see today producing electric, they started selling. I think they sold stationaries, pots, plate, and all of those things. But when they started, before they saw an opportunity to break into this sector. If you check most of the businesses, most of them didn't start with the ideas that made them blew up. So at a point you might want to pivot. So we need to tell you so that you know when that time comes and when you need to pivot. Okay, someone says she has a question. Okay, we have the facilitator here already. So someone is asking a question. I have a question. Is it okay to change the idea at demo day because the session have been really be helpful? You don't need to wait for the demo day for you to change your idea. If your idea is giving you what you want, you are free to hold on to it. If it's not giving you what you want, you can change your idea right now. If it's not what your market wants, in underlined, you need to be creating what the market wants. It's not just about the beauty of your idea. The market has to need what you are creating. So don't wait till the demo day to know if your idea will win or not before you know whether you pivot or change your idea or whatever. You can pivot this moment if you've tested the market and your idea isn't what your market want. So I think we'll stop here for now. So in a short moment we'll be bringing in our speaker for today. I think Gianni joined. Gianni, I thought you wanted to ask a question. Gianni, I thought you wanted to ask a question. Okay, you can type in your question. You can type in your question so that we move into the session right away. Since we have our speaker on ground. So right now we'll be moving into the session today. Hi, Abiola. Good afternoon. Great to have you here.
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Okay, good to have you. So we'll be starting the session immediately. The participants have been waiting for you, so we need to start on immediately. So I'll be introducing the facilitator right now. Abiola is the co-founder of Exchange Boss, a pioneering startup in the fintech sector. He's an accomplished lawyer with a wealth of experience in the field of startups with a dedicated focus on the fintech sector. He has spent over a decade supporting emerging businesses in developing robust and profitable business models. He is the venture partner at Pen Promise Ventures. He also has an outstanding track record and extensive knowledge of the startup ecosystem, which makes him an invaluable asset for entrepreneurs seeking expert guidance and support. Once again, welcome to this session, Abiola. So you have the stage now.
Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me, please?
Oh, okay.
Can everyone hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you. Guys, if you can hear him, please indicate in the comment section.
Can you hear me? They can actually say
I
hi
can
if they can hear me.
I can hear you.
One of them can say hi, just to let me know. Hello? So I like my class to be engaging. I don't just like talking. Can anyone just talk to me? Say hi if you can hear me. Pascal, am I still audible? Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So I just need them to confirm that they can hear me. Are they still online and
Yeah,
can they hear me?
Yeah, they are replying in the comment section. You can check the comment section from your part. They are replying.
Okay, all right, all right. Thank you. Okay, so let's get to the business of the day then. No, I'm not printing. So my name is Abiola Jimo, and I'm very privileged to be speaking with you this afternoon. Thanks to ATV and Pascal for recommending once again. This is a topic I took few weeks ago, and I think it's been very impactful. I've gotten a lot of feedback, and I'm glad about it. I'm very glad that based on what we have learned while trying to build build a company that create value for people, in the process, of course, make money as much as we can to change the world as well, to change our individual lives as well. Uh, some of the learnings are being transmitted or being put down for few of us to also brush on our own experiences. So I'm not saying we don't have much experience. I'm just saying that this session can also help us to brush up on some of the experiences we have. Does that make sense? All right. So let's get into it. So, but I usually want to ask you, what do you understand by lean analytics? What do you understand by metrics for running a successful startup? Not just a startup, but a successful startup. So, first of all, see yourself as an entrepreneur that is just starting out to create value, do business, and make money. Never see yourself as the guy that just, how will I put it, that is just doing a hype. So, take that as a note. Don't be carried away by the hype. Make sure you are really creating value, doing business that makes money. So this is the key word. So because people just say I'm a tech bro, I'm a fintech guy, I'm a health tech guy, I'm an agri tech guy, they don't really understand that beyond all the tech, you're just using technology to do business. That's all. So let's not get into that euphoria. Let's understand it as a basic principle. So today, based on the agenda, we're supposed to cover three principles of impact startups: build, learn, and measure cycle, minimum viable product that you know as MVP, lean analytics, lean impact canvas. And by all this, we will have shared some valuable knowledge that I believe, based on our collective uh, looking at, would help all of us to be better with our businesses. So there's a saying that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. So one of the biggest dedication or biggest way to push through in startup ecosystem is to be persistent, especially if your idea makes sense and you see the real value in the market. That's what set out Tesla from the rest of the world. That's what set out Amazon. There's a joke in 1993 that I watched an interview uh, by Amazon. By Amazon, there was an interview where he said he lost. The interviewer said, "You lost $12 million in your year, in the whole year, and you say your value of the company is now going to $1 billion. How does that make sense?" And the guy said, "The reality is that they are using that $1 million to grow the market, and it increases their valuation. So it's magical, but that's how startup works." But what I'm trying to say is that's perspiration, that's dedication to keep up, but also know when to take a stop.
Hello, we can't hear you.
Hello?
What's going? Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, I think it's just network. Where did you stop hearing me? I mean, you are the one that can be my soundbite now. Where did you stop hearing me?
Yeah, you were talking about 99% perspiration and
Okay. So I was saying that success is about 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, which means being consistent. That's how you excel in startup ecosystem. Sorry, just let me change this network. Please, can you hear me better now? Hello? Hello?
yes, yes, we can hear you. Can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. Okay, network. It's just to someone has to point out to me that they can hear me since nobody's saying anything. Okay, moving
I
forward.
can hear
So
you.
startup. So I try to educate us about the types of startup we have. Startup can be an enterprise for profit or not for profit. So startup is just a company that is breaking the barriers and doing things that are disruptive. So not doing things the traditional way. For example, if you want to set up a company, you have board of directors from beginning, you have shareholders, you have a couple of things around that really set out the structure. You know, you take a lot of money to start the company, right? Which means you have saved some money somewhere and all that. But for a startup, for example, you will build a technology. All it takes to grow the business is just that your technology. Once there is a lot of viral adoption, once people adopt the idea, they like it, you know, that's all it takes to grow a startup. Unlike traditional businesses where you need to raise capital, do a lot of fundraising before you even start. Go and collect one massive office, giant office, buy official cars and all that. You don't need all that in a startup. You know, it's just innovative. It's highly uncertain. You're not sure. It's high risk because you may try the idea, the market may like it, it may genuinely solve problem, and they may not like it as well. You are not guaranteed of anything. There's nothing you are sure of in a startup ecosystem. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the analysis. That's the analysis in a startup. All right. Uh, it's also combined business framework and innovation to get solution to large numbers of people. That's exactly what I just explained. So it's doing a lot of disruptive things. It's trying to grow faster than its pace, and that's why it's prone to a lot of mistakes. That's why startups must have mentors, must have people that have done businesses that have either been in the startup ecosystem so that they guide. You must also think of growth beyond survival. So if all you want to do in you call yourself a startup guy or an innovator and entrepreneur, but all you need is just food. Maybe you just want to be buying food, buy one car, just live a life that shows that you have arrived. You are not a startup material. You are just a guy that is trying to survive. And that's why a lot of startup business has not even taken off well. They've started paying themselves a lot of money, but they cannot because they cannot do delayed gratification. As you're looking at me, I've been in the startup ecosystem for long. I've grown businesses, I've supported businesses, and my salary is not still in six figures in dollars. It's not still in six figures in dollars. It's still a lot of money. It's still a minimal amount of money. In fact, sometimes we have to manage ourselves within lean budget to do things. We have to look for grants. We have to look for alternative ways to sustain the businesses and make sure that we only spend from what we make. We don't go and spend beyond what we are making so that you can be sustainable, so that you can grow the business in a very, very stable way. Don't look at the FOMO. Don't look at people everywhere just doing things, saying they are doing startup and you see a lot of stuff going on. Forget those ones. Just stay at the pace you can maintain. So three principles of impact startups that they think big, they think very aggressively big. They don't think like normal people's thinking. They start small. They seek impact. When you seek impact, you make money. Facebook impact was connecting people all over the world. Your classmates, your friends, your families. A lot of families have met themselves through Facebook. I trained as a lawyer originally. My first brief, I got it through Facebook Messenger. His classmate of mine was in the US. He wanted to notarize it. He wanted to validate a document in Product Registry. His client briefed him. He didn't have anybody. I was on Facebook Messenger. I posted some pictures of myself in the law office. Oh, he liked it and said, "Oh, you have not graduated. Oh, can you undo this probate stuff for me in Abuja Probate Registry?" I said, "Yes." And for that alone, as a young lawyer, he just came out of law school. It was a very big estate of the person that died. I think he paid me 2 million naira. And that's the first highest money I ever received first in my life. You know, it was a big deal for me. So it's connecting people. I'm also going to tell you that I came into tech through some connect that I met through a social network and said, "Oh, you can be really good in tech. Can you come and work in tech?" So I was in a big four law firm, and I left the law firm to go into tech. Of course, I'm not going to lie to you. The salary in the tech company was better. The work environment was better, and that was one of the reasons. But beyond that, I went for that, but I found something far better than what I set out for. So think big. you know, growth start is slow because the startup is testing and then retreating, but solution is proving. That's when growth jumps. So this means that don't expect yourself to just start today and then you just get it right, and then everybody wants your idea to be what they use. See Money Point, see Opay, see the rest in the market. There was a time that created the need for it. The cash first COVID brought POS transactions to a very good number in Nigeria. Then the cashless society jumped it, and then people became familiar with it. People became comfortable with it, and then they flow with it. So that is it. Sometimes your idea is also kicked by time. What's the space? What's the situation in the country or in the all over the world? Start small. You have to start small. Don't copy anybody, please. Be on your own lane. Be sure of what you're doing. Be convinced about your idea. Be clear about your strategy to take over the market. It's your strategy to take over the market and your team that actually attracts a lot of investors. When you speak and they see you like, this is a brilliant mind, even if that idea does not succeed, they believe that you can do other ones that will succeed. So they invest in you as a person and your team more than they invest in your idea. Of course, nowadays they all just want to see scalability, that your idea is working. So this is the build cycle. This is the build, measure, and learn cycle. The first is build a product. So it's like you are nailing your foundation. That's the first part here. Then eventually measure how customers respond. After you build this product, that's when you do customer testing. You validate your idea. How well do people like it? Learn from it. Then persevere. If it's an idea that's not yet time, like Tesla persevered for 10 years. But if an idea that people don't even like at all, don't see any future in, then pivot, which means change the idea. It's not wrong to also be a startup founder and you tried it for so long, you see it's not working, and then you pick other things to keep up with your life while you come back to the idea. Don't get all those ideas wrong, that you have to be staying poor and miserable because you're trying to be a founder. No. So number one is your idea, number two is building the idea, number three is measure how customers respond, number four, learn, number five, pivot if it's necessary, or persevere if it's not the time yet. Lean startup. The build, measure, learn cycle is the essence of lean startup. The meaning of lean, let me not waste your time, is that you have to be very, very strategic. When no one else has done your idea before, it doesn't mean it will not fail or it will succeed. Uh, but, but be very lean in your approach, in your expense. Don't go and start spending a lot on commercials. You've not even built your product. A lot of people do that. Like, I'll give you an example. The startup that just played Dash, they raised $86 million. They've not even put the product. Like right now, if you download the app, you can't even do any transaction to any country. And they made so much noise all over the world that they are doing interoperability of wallets. Don't be like that. Be genuine about your idea. Build it truly. Because forget that you want to make money. You actually want to solve a problem. That's what makes you like a lovable person anyway. So when there is lots you don't know about a market, do your market research. Don't just jump at it because you think it's a fine idea. A lot of fine idea will end up as an NGO intervention program. You know, uh, in the impact sector, often iteration is slow. The quick you can be impactful and get to the market, the better for you. You can see these are a startup should be running. You should find a way to get to the market, because if you go and stay too slow, somebody can go and introduce that same idea. Don't think your idea is the most unique. A lot of people are thinking the same way you are. I'll give you an example. My friend thought of an idea where you can build a marketplace where people just go to a platform and interact and talk about, do you have dollar in US? I have naira. Can we exchange? Pay into this account, I pay into this account. He was still telling me about it. Then we saw Swap by Flutterwave. So we just laughed. I told him that, see, guy, everything you are thinking, other people are thinking about it. It's like that. If I was a staff of Flutterwave, we thought maybe I'm the one that shared the idea with them. I'm sure he will have sued me. But that's life. Think and be fast. Love the problem, not the solution. So if you love the solution, you will just solve one problem. Payday solved FX scarcity, but there was no real problem. It was just FX scarcity. Immediately, FX forex came back. Uh, uh, their problem became not so much of a problem. Again, it's easier said than done. Honestly, my being in startup ecosystem, I have learned so many things that I thought was easy. It wasn't. So we bought a microfinance bank one time, and then CBN revoked it, and then we had to go and also again. We have to go and look for people in the market, make advocacy. Then they reinstated the license. That whole process was very, very, very depressing. So somebody will just stay and say, "Oh, we can do this now." It's not easy. It's easier said than done. But ask yourself why often. Why am I in this? What is the inspiration? Because that keeps you going. Even if there's no money all the time, it keeps you going. It gives you self fulfillment. You know. So I've given this example. So even if you are building a similar product in the market, you have to raise the bar. Do something different. What sets you aside? What makes you different? Focus on that, and that's the only way you can scale. So I've done lean analysis is find your right. Just to be sure you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay, just to be sure I'm not just talking. Sorry, I like my sessions interactive, but I have to manage what I have today. So there is also something you have to work on. Data does not lie. As you are doing your proof of your idea, be collating your data. What's the data telling you? How many people are using your product? Don't go and inflate data because you want to impress. Forget the investors. Build the product first. Of course, you need money to grow, but don't go and over impress investor and start lying all over the town just because you want to get some validation. Please don't do it. A lot of people do it. Data is proof. This is what they will still come back to. How many people are actually using your product? How much are you making? Nobody wants to invest in you because you are good looking they just want you to make them money. So a minimum viable product, well, let me get into it, is a minimum solution you have built that can solve customers' problem. For example, you are doing trading and you want to get people that will buy from you. You don't need to go and necessarily start with building an app. You can just do a WhatsApp group and put all your potentials there, and they buy from you. From there, if it goes viral and you see that you are now having more than about 500, 600 on the app, on the WhatsApp group, then you can decide to go to Telegram. If Telegram becomes too crowded, you're now working on your app. But the first day you go to app, you thought of an idea, you went to app first to build. Who is going to use it? You now start spending money on marketing to drive people. But if you have people already that you're migrating to an app, what it does for you is that people will talk about it to each other, and that way you grow faster. So minimum viable products. You start with, for example, all this. There's nothing there. You just want to jump to a car. It can't work. You have to build this stretch, go, and get to a car. This is your final product. See, this is a minimum viable product. It's satisfying. Is you can eat it. You can be okay. But your final product is this, which has a lot of design on it, far better. So don't worry about your UI UX front end interface first. Worry that your idea, your app works for the purpose they need it for first. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, So going forward, right? I think I've explained this. I've explained this. Okay, so you should be learning every step of the way. Immediately listings with professional photography got no, I think I've done this. Yeah. So then define your metric. So you will see that they will say, what's your North Star? What's your measure of your growth? Which is having something that once that thing keeps on growing, your business keeps on improving in value. So you must look out for this. What's the thing that makes your startup grow? Once it is working, it means your startup is working. For example, if you are a news media platform that's a startup like Techaba, how many number of readers you have determines the cost, the charge you can charge people for placing a news advert or doing advertorial or something. It also determines your brand visibility. So that's how many viewership that you need. That's your North Star. That's your major metric. If yours is that you are selling food, it means how many people are actually buying your food daily. So you have to understand your metric from day one. Once that thing start growing, then you are growing. But in doing metric, one key way to also identify is how much are you spending for what results. So if you are spending a lot of money on marketing, but you are getting very minimal results, then you're just wasting your time. I think I've done a couple of analysis here. So identify what they call vanity metrics. If you are a startup and what you do does not require website viewership, and you have 10 million viewership of your website, it doesn't turn to money. It's not bad, it's good, but it doesn't turn you to money, it doesn't grow anything. So you know your vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are metrics that doesn't impact your business growth in any way. You know. So I talk about North Star. So know your North Star gives it focus. Other metrics matter too, but this one matters above all else. Focus on what is important. Be honest with yourself. Revisit your goals often and tell yourself, did they tell you about something you didn't know? Your metrics, you know. Check your metrics to adjust and update them when necessary. Lean startup and vision. You must identify your vision, where you want to be. If your goal is to become the biggest hub for e-commerce in Africa in 5 years, you must set your goal from day one. Because if you have a vision board as a company, you're just moving around, tagging along in the company. You don't even have a straight focus. You see Paystack, they say they are the stripe of Africa, which means whatever stripe is doing, you want to do it, for Africa. So you must have your clarity around that. Very, very important. Okay. So I will leave you with this assignment. So identify your problem that you're solving as a company, each of you, your solution. What's your unique value proposition? Unfair advantage that you have over others in the market. Customer segment, who are your customers? Existing channels to solve the problem. Key metrics, purpose, channels, adopters, early adopters of your idea. Cost structure. This is if you have launched. Impact metrics. Or if you have not launched, you can look at this to also benchmark your market. And sustainability, revenue model, and partnerships. So look at this and use it to do an assignment. Mr. Pascal, you can give them, let them use it for as an assignment. This page, just extract this page because I want to update this deck like I told you. Once I go for break, I will update it properly so that it can be more useful for them. Uh, Look at this table and see what you can identify. I can attend to it for you so that I can correct it. We can schedule a time for that, but not immediately now, uh, so that you can see how or what you've learned today can help you as a company. I think on this note, I will take question and answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abiola. Thank you for the presentation and the insights and the resources shared. Please, guys, if you have questions for him, kindly type in your question in the comment section, or you can join in the studio using the link posted I'm bringing up the link again. So you can join the studio using the link on the screen. You are free to come up to ask your questions if you want to ask your question on the studio. And then you are free to type in your question in the comment section. Please, let's make it quick. Then the attendance form has also been pasted on the comment section. Fill in your attendance. As you already know, you have to meet up to 80% of the attendance for you to graduate from the program. So please, if you have questions, kindly type in your question or um, join the studio to ask your question. We are waiting for you guys. Hope I'm not talking to myself. Stephen David, Giyani, Peter, Kegbo Kokim, Ibok. I hope I got that name. So Mary, Fred, if you guys can hear me, please send in your questions or join um, the studio to ask your question. Okay, so I'll be giving us 2 minutes. If you're not coming up with question, then we would have to proceed with the other aspect of the session and then end it very soon. Meanwhile, if you're here to fill the attendance form is there. Fill in the attendance, send in your questions now. So he has promised to share the the slide with us. So I would like to ask a quick question. So Mr. Biola, so at what stage do you think startups should start tracking their metrics? Because there is this feeling that a lot of startups have, that maybe at the basic stage you are not meant to start tracking your metrics because you've not launched, or maybe you don't have anything to track. But then, as I mentioned to them earlier, that startup is a fast game. The earlier you move, the better. The earlier you move to the market, the earlier you start reaching out to the customers to even know whether what you are um you are building is useful to them, the better. So this is like a general question. At what stage can they start tracking their metrics from day one when they start growing the idea? Or maybe they have to start tracking it when they maybe have an MVP, so that they get back the statistics and the analytics from whatever they are doing. So at what stage do you think it's is reasonable for startups to start tracking what they are doing?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, from day one, you should you should always Mary. Okay, Mary Katambe. Okay, you should always track your, because see your 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 matrix, your growth, your traction is what keeps you in business. So a startup, the first focus in your early stage is to build something that works. You've identified a problem. So I've seen that. I'll give you an example. I'm giving you guys free idea. So there's this guy that came from which country? Because of the Niger war that was supposed to break out, but God has saved us. I think it's not going to work. This guy came from Niger Republic, and he washes caps in Abuja. For people that are in the north, when you wash your cap and it's shiny and there's this spray they put, is very good. So he's like an extra level professional with this stuff. He's very good at it. And we just thought of it like jokingly, like every day we watch capsule, like every week, everybody around the north they watch cap. So if you do the matrix or the demographics, almost all the northern young guys that can afford to buy a cap, they need to wear a cap every Friday. They wear cap to mosque. For those who are Muslims, they wear it to parties and all that. So now there's this guy that can wash cap in a very outstanding way. Your cap will be like it's new every day once he washes your cap. So that's a problem that people would like to have that solution. It's a nice to have, right? So I just thought of it that we just thought of it that they were joking that what if we build an app where we do your cap pickup and delivery, and this guy wash for them, and we get to charge people maybe 2,000 naira. The guy charges 500 naira per cap. So we pay the guy 500 naira. Or we even pay him something because he's the main guy. If they leave us, if he leaves us, we can't watch. We don't have his skill set at this stage. So we pay him something like maybe you say, okay, we'll now pay you 1,000. We charge people 2,000 per cap because a lot of guys just do the numbers. A lot of guys are working in good places would like to watch their cap by the guy. And we said, so if you have identified your problem like this, a problem like that, you have a solution you think works, and you find out to execute it, you should now start tracking. So every day, how many, every week, how many caps have we watched? That will tell you maybe it's a sustainable business. If it's not for a long time, then you will need to close it. That is, you keep on burning, especially when you are not making revenue, you're just burning cash, and you need to close it. You know, you need to close it. So that's it. If you keep on burning revenue, there is no promise in sight. I'm going to be realistic with you. I had a guy that is now a big startup guy. The year they raised money January this year. They already said if nobody gave them money by December, everybody will go back to their work and forget about the idea. But luckily, they raised money, and that's how the idea is now a big idea today. If they didn't raise that money, trust me, they will have closed the business. So that's it. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. So thank you very much for the response. I think Mary asked a question. How
You
can
said,
an
how can an
e-commerce
e-commerce platform start operation in terms of selling and buying products before the launch? It's very easy. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so the way to start is you can start with an Instagram page. E-commerce just means what they are ordinarily selling in a shop. You have built a website where they can sell it, where you can sell it. So start in an like
I think he's having problem with his network. Okay, he's back.
I think I'm having network issue here. Sorry.
Okay.
My laptop went off. I forgot to take the charger out of the car earlier. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
is there any other question?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you were answering the question on the e-commerce platform before you were kicked out.
No, I said you can use a WhatsApp group or an Instagram page to start. Once you reach a good number, you can go and build an app for it. Luckily for you, there is no license required in Nigeria for it.
Okay. 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 Yeah, thank you very much for the response. So let me check. There is no other question from the participants. So guys, if you have any other question, you can send them to the group or send them to me since you're unable to type it here and you don't want to come out to the studio. So if you have any other question, you can send them through WhatsApp and we forward it to the facilitator. So thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah, for making out time to come on board today to share your knowledge and insights and the resources.
Thank you so much.
Um,
It's a pleasure.
yeah, Mary is coming up with another question. But sir, we do not want to hold any inventory for this e-commerce. Mary, we don't understand your question.
No, I think I know. What she wants is for me to build, to help her on how to build the idea. Come and pay, Mary. Pay for this one. It's all right. You can book a personal session through Mr. Pastor and we can work out something. I'm happy to guide you. And please, Mr. Pastor, thank you for bringing me to this young people that would like to start any idea. I'm glad to always assist in this regard anytime, please. Mm.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr.
All right.
Um,
All right, bye.
Bella. Do have a good day. So everyone, see you. See you. So if you want to ask him personal question or have any partnership with him, you can reach out to him in person. He's also among the mentors on the platform, so you can DM him on the on the mentorship platform. He's among your mentors on the mentorship page, so you can reach out to him. Yeah, thank you very much, and see you guys in the next session. I think on Thursday. Yeah, see you guys. Bye.